After working up Fireworking 101, which focused on some very simple, basic safety, chemical skills, techniques, devices, projects, and then moving ahead a little bit to the intermediate Fireworking 201, where we moved into some shells and rockets and more advanced techniques and a few little minor, more complex chemicals. Now I want to embark on Fireworking 301. So this is the introduction to Fireworking 301. And in this, I'm going to introduce a couple machines, a small ball mill, a small arbor press, a small star roller, some machines that won't break most people's budget, but they will require a little bit of an investment. They're not real expensive, but they become necessary for certain processes and manufacturing methods that we're going to explore in Fireworking 301. We're going to get into some more complex tooling such as star plates and the ways to use that more complex tooling, some more slightly more complex screens that we'll use for some processes. We're going to get into a wider variety of chemicals used in color stars and some other compositions, priming. We'll get into some more advanced star making techniques such as rolling stars, such as pumping color stars which need to be primed. We'll get into some priming techniques that are needed for those. And all of that, the slightly more advanced techniques, along with that slicing, screen slicing stars, rolling stars, priming stars, and making some more complex shells, all leading up to a wider variety and a larger size variety of effects. And the basic overview I've come up with right now, I may not follow this exactly, but this is what I have in mind and what we've discussed in that Fireworking 301 ideas thread. So far we have used commercially available airfloat charcoal, either commercial mixed hardwood airfloat charcoal for sparks in stars and rocket motors and fountains, or hot airfloat paulownia or eastern red cedar charcoal that's available commercially. Quite often though, we either don't have access to airfloat sparky charcoal or hot black powder charcoal, or we just simply want to make our own. There's something very satisfying to making your own charcoal. It's one of the basic ingredients of fireworking that we can make for ourselves. So I'm going to show some basic, simple techniques for making your own charcoal, and then I'll show a small ball mill setup for then milling that charcoal to airfloat, because we're almost always using airfloat or a fairly fine screen cut mesh of charcoal particles like the 80 mesh or the 36 mesh, which we can use our screens on our homemade charcoal to screen out that mesh cut of charcoal size. So we use a small ball mill to do that, and also if we've gotten a hold of some granular potassium nitrate, say greenhouse grade potassium nitrate that is not airfloat or not very finely milled, the ball mill can also be used to mill potassium nitrate or other chemicals, barium nitrate, strontium nitrate. Individual chemicals can be milled in the ball mill to a very fine powder. So at least a small, simple ball mill becomes very handy for those pulverization processes of charcoal or individual chemicals. We'll get into a small 1-ton arbor press that we can use to press star plates to speed up our pumped star production speed and process. We'll press some pretty glitter stars using a black powder base. I'll show how to make the black powder base and then how to press glitter stars with the star plates with the arbor press. And also we'll press a rainbow of pressed color stars. We'll go through a simple array of formulas for pressed color stars, pumping them with our star plates, and then how to prime them. I want to also get into using our pumped stars in either crossets or married comets or cavity comets that can produce a color changing effects. There are different effects using a very simple set of comet pumping tools that we can use to make a variety of effects with our pumped stars. Well, like I said, we'll explore a simple small star roller and how to make simple rolled stars. We'll look at rubber stars and priming them. Rubber stars are quite often screen sliced. They can be sliced with a knife like we have already learned how to do, but screen slicing can speed up the process of making rubber stars. We'll show how to screen slice them and then how to prime them as well. I did get that rolling pin with the spacer rings. We'll use that to make specific thickness patties for the screen sliced rubber stars. I also want to look at making very small screen sliced stars and then including them in matrix gerbs, where we have, say, a charcoal spray gerb with micro stars showing up inside of that, which can be inside of that spray, which can be very pretty. I described in the Girondola project that I wanted to explore making small cylindrical headings for the motors on the Girondolas to improve the final heading effect display of our Girondolas. For our rockets, I want to show how to make a binary mixed 3-inch salute heading for our rockets, or as a standalone 3-inch salute or ground salute. And then in our rockets, sticking with the 3-inch cylindrical heading construction, I want to explore timed reports, whistles to report, go-getters made a couple different ways, color and glitter color combinations, and also cross sets in our 3-inch cylindrical headings for our rockets to really develop a wide variety of effects that we can make with our rocket headings. I'll show how to make a simple 4-inch gasoline mine using the 4-inch Mighty Mite mortars, and then we'll get into some larger shells. A 6-inch cylindrical shell with 2 layers of stars in there, sometimes called a double ring shell, although it's not really rings, it's actually shells of stars that come out. You could call it a double petal, although the traditional cylinder shell guys like to use the word petal for ball shells. But essentially, 2 concentric displays of stars coming out of a 6-inch cylinder shell, and then also a 6-inch double petal shell with 1 petal assembled inside another petal with burst powder in the center, and then also between the 2 petals in a 6-inch ball shell with some rising comet effects on that. So you can see we're getting into more advanced machines, more advanced tooling, a wider variety of chemicals, more advanced techniques, larger devices, and a wider variety of effects in our devices. And that's what we'll be focusing on in Fireworking 301. So fasten your seatbelts and enjoy.